in this section, we're going to talk about how to turn negative exponents into an equivalent positive exponent. So, how to turn this negative exponent into a positive exponent that has the same value. I want to take a look at the generic algebraic formula for negative exponents. If you remember correctly, we said it was x to the negative n. Any number to any negative power equals 1, place that a little better, equals 1 over x to the positive power. So any number to the positive power. Now, the thing about x to the negative power is you can also put it over 1. Any number or anything that's not in fraction form, if you want to put it in fraction form, you can always put it over 1, and it will be a fraction. So, if you take a look at these two fractions we have here, they're equal, which means they have the same value. Okay? So, if I want to change this negative exponent into a positive power, I just have to move my x to the bottom of the fraction and move the 1 on top. When I move this term, this x to the negative n, on bottom, the exponent turns positive. Or if I'm going the other way, if I'm turning a positive exponent on the bottom up to the top, then the exponent will become negative. Also, if I have a positive exponent on top, and I put the x on bottom, then my exponent turns negative. So essentially, the rule of thumb here is that if you move a variable or number with an exponent to the other side of the fraction bar, whether that be to the top or the bottom, the sign flips. So you go from negative to positive, or you go from positive to negative. And just to show you what that looks like with numbers, I'll do some examples with actual numbers. I know some people have trouble following the variables. So I'm going to put the formula up here in the corner. We have x to the negative power over 1. It equals 1 over x to the positive power. So an example that shows that. If I have 3 to the negative third power over 1, it equals 1 over 3 to the positive 3. In other words, it equals 1 over 27. So if I take the 3 to the negative third power and I move it to the bottom of my fraction, the power becomes positive. So if you have a question and it asks you to take 3 to the negative third power, or any number to the negative third power, and they want you to make it a positive exponent, move it to the other side of the fraction, which in this case is the bottom. If you want to take a negative fraction, or a negative exponent I mean, and make it positive, you move it to the other side of the fraction. If you want to take a positive exponent and make it negative, you move it to the other side of the fraction. Okay? You also need to make sure that when you move positives and negatives, okay, that you move the 1 as well. Now, sometimes you may be multiplying or dividing monomials and you'll get some answers that look kind of funky. You might see something like 12b squared over c to the negative 3. Now, if that doesn't appeal to you for an answer, or if you're asked to give an answer with all positive exponents, you can take that c to the negative 3, move it to the other side of the fraction, and now you'll have an answer of 12b squared c to the third. Makes a nice, neat answer. You get rid of the fraction bar and the negative exponent. And for the last part, just in case you're not sure you really believe that this stuff is true, get out a calculator or pop one up on your computer and test it out. 3 to the negative 2 power over 1 is equal to 1 over 3 to the second power. Or in other words, 1 over 9. Get out your calculator and divide 1 by 9. You'll get a decimal answer for 1/9. You can then say, well, if 3 to the negative 2 is equal to 1 over 3 to the second, then we can replace this 3 to the negative 2 with 1 over 9. 9 is 3 to the second power, divided by 1. Now, doesn't it make sense that 1/9 divided by 1 equals 1/9? I think so. So, didn't we also say that 1 over 3 to the second power was 1/9? So in other words, 3 to the negative 2 means 1/9, so you have 1/9 divided by 1, which is 1/9, equals 1/9. I hope this explanation made sense. If you have any questions or suggestions, please either go to my forum or email me and let me know what it is I could do differently.